Okay, just thought I would check in and give everybody an update of how this rooftop tent journey is going. It's March 16th, 2019. Got it in June or so of 2018. Had some issues with it. Primarily, there was this tent material, as you can see. Once I tucked it inside and closed the tent on the freeway, because of the gap here, the material would blow out. Literally. On the freeway, flopping in the wind, had to pull over. It was just a mess. Putting it back in, opening it up, stuffing it back in. I had some plastic piece, kind of like an L shaped, that would fit in here to kind of keep it contained, but even that didn't work. Finally, I got this. You might be able to see. It's like a rubber foam. That was stuck to the corner there, and it sealed. It closed this gap between the mattress inside and the corner, this edge, essentially. And it's working great. So, what else happened? The main thing was these rails. This rail is designed to have a bracket and then a cross bar roof rack. Took that off, decided to use it for, well, my original intent was to use it for solar. The bracket would be somewhere in that rail, on all four rails, and a platform. You might have seen it in some of my previous videos. Like it's like a triple wall polycarbonate panel supported on those 4 points and right about here to be strong, and then solar panels on top. So problem I ran into recently, well, I've run into for a while, is it, and I didn't know right away because I bought it just before summer and there was no rain until later in the year. So I didn't really know that there was a leak issue around this and possibly in the nut or the bolt, I guess, that holds it down. So recently I caulked a bunch of like silicone into that hole and then dropped the bolt, but apparently that didn't work because during the rain, at this angle on a curb, it's kind of, leaning, and the water would puddle up in this area right there and just generally eventually soak through, which is not cool. So the next step is going to be to fill in this whole area all the way around this edge, this part where that would go in to where the bolt drops through, as well on the other side of, along the side and on the other side of each one of these rails. And then they're completely sealed. I can put the bracket up here on top of it, bolt it down, and get that platform and solar panel up. So that's the next step. I think what else. The canvas material, I couldn't necessarily assure that was going to be waterproof, and I didn't necessarily have a rain fly, so I haven't tested it open in rainy weather. So I thought, just in case it actually happens, I thought it would be good to waterproof the canvas material. So once I had it open, waterproofed it from the outside. I believe I got 2 coats on that, and then seam sealed all the seams of the tent, which is kind of difficult because there was awnings as well, and you want the awnings to be somewhat water resistant as well, especially if they're closed. You don't want them to seep through to the inner layer of canvas, I guess. So then the other issue I was having was these screws that hold this, I don't know what you call this, like a finishing aluminum, something like that. These were rusting. They didn't use stainless. So the only way to keep them from rusting more, since I couldn't pull them off, they're like, I don't know, there's somehow on there where they're screwed into each other, or I have no idea, but they could not come off. So I had to shave them down and put some silicone on. There's like 18 of them. That took like 2-3 hours, it seemed like. So that seems to be holding up. Obviously I put the lights inside, the very thin copper strand, you know, RGB lights. Those are pretty cool. That kind of keeps me inspired. This hook is for holding the, I guess it would be the back awning in place so that it doesn't drop onto the back tailgate while I'm trying to close the tent. It basically holds it right here. It's attached also on the other side, so it's holding that metal bar at the end of the awning in place right here on this edge, so it can't fall off the edge as I'm pulling the tent closed. So that helps. Not something I would have anticipated, but it's been an issue. So I had to cut this canvas material right here because it was, I think, designed to come over the metal frame, the aluminum frame, but it didn't. It was too tight. They didn't give enough extra material, and it was literally folded up. So I thought to myself, that seamed at the bottom edge of that fold, and so if it rained, it would just seep in and go into the tent. So I had to fold that down, cut it, fold it down. I'm gonna eventually, it's just on with a paper clip right now. Amazingly, it's very strong ripstop material. Anyway, that'll be sewn on at some point. I'll have to get someone to sew that. And I think I also had to cut it on this side. This was the other spot. Very strong ripstop material. But yeah, those are the issues. One thing at a time. Would have been nice for it to just be ready to roll, but unfortunately that was not the case. Got it from China. Can't just simply ship it back to China, sadly. Can't have them, you know, fix it. So I'm left to just fix it myself. And it is what it is. And they say, what is it, like just past when you're about to give up is when you usually succeed. So I'm trusting that once I clean these rails with some rubbing alcohol and caulk them in real good, especially these ones on the right side, since I'll more than likely be parked on the side of the road where it's kind of at an angle. I'd want to get it caulked really good on these sides. They'll do good on all sides, obviously, but trying to think what else. Been trying to get this logo or website address. Can't really see it that well, but it's multicolor with white text right now. And the next step, I realized that being multicolor with light, with the RGB light hitting it from the backside, as soon as the color of the RGB light actually gets to be the same color as what's printed, it just makes the text go away. It literally, the white of the text becomes the same color, and you just don't see it. You would see a C and an M, and that would be it. Which is okay for the most part, but so to go with this. You can see. Tried it in a couple different ways. This is the opposite color, so whenever that color, yellowish orange, changes, so does the blue. It doesn't become the same color like with white text. So this is just gonna color cycle. Really cool. I did regular. I did a white drop shadow, and I did a black dark drop shadow. Now we'll see which one actually pops better. Let's get some nighttime going on. Yeah, so things are slowly coming along. Not as well as I would have liked. Yeah, and then I ended up installing a carabiner, kind of a cord just to hold. It's actually it's bungee cord, and I would unclip that carabiner and then hook the end of that carabiner to the cord, this cord that comes through the rivets in the awning. And so that when I'm not using the awning would stay down tight against the back of the tent. It won't blow up or whatever. Problem with they thought that they were designing this tent better by having awnings on all four sides, but that actually didn't work because they didn't plan on the fact that when you're not using the awning, especially down, it just is going to flail in the wind. It was a stupid design. I'm sure they had great intentions, but you know, it is what it is. I bought some dowel rods, one to go across from the oh shit bar on this side, kind of by the headrest, to the other side. And I might still have to cut that down a little bit for that to work. That's to hold clothes on hangers when I'm on the road. And there's another one that's thinner that would go between this frame and the other to hold like a bed sheet or something, so that people don't see that I have clothes in there, and then, you know, I'm kind of living out of this. People might get it, obviously, because this is going to look like an actual tent when it's up. They're going to see it. Oh, that looks kind of like a tent. Someone's probably living in there. I don't know. It is what it is. But eventually, I'm going to have to find a more permanent solution for this. It seems to be holding up well. It catches dirt in the tape. You don't really see that too much from a distance, but I'm afraid that the copper wire vibrating might wear out my paint job, which I'm a little concerned about. It doesn't seem to be doing it right now. I hear some tapping on the rail here with this one, but this is kind of a, I don't know, like a silicone, hard silicone that they put over each of these lights. So I'm not too concerned yet, but that's something I'm gonna have to deal with in the future. Find out a better use of this excess LED lighting. If you have any thoughts about any of this, obviously comment, please. I guess that's it for now. If I need to, I'll do another video and maybe edit it into this one. But it's okay. Everything's generally okay. I got some challenges still with the platform and the solar panels. I was a little concerned that the solar panels would blow off, but I haven't heard one instance of anybody having a solar panel blow off their vehicle pretty much any way they mounted it. So my thought is that so long as it's mounted fairly flush to whatever it's on, it should stay. So I got some really heavy duty Velcro. So once I get the platform up here, that polycarbonate, whatever platform, it's about a 1/2 inch thick. Again, you might have seen it, but that once I get that platform up and I'm gonna probably do it before. Probably end up doing water bottles. Yeah, I'll probably end up doing that to where I got some Velcro strips in multiple points underneath each of the solar panels to hold it down to the platform. And that way, if and when my solar panels fail, which I've heard they do, the flexible solar panels don't hold up as well. So if and when they do fail, at least I'll have a way to mount the new ones on. All I have to do is reposition the other side of the Velcro, and it should be good to go. I just got to position the ones on the platform in a way that even with a different size solar panel in the future, it would still work. I guess that's it for now. That's all I can think of. There's probably more that I need to go over, but that'll be for another video, I guess. I'm looking into, that I can think of, I'm looking into the Hotel Prius video. The guy basically goes over all the different containers that he would use in his vehicle to store anything from like pantry items to extra miscellaneous tools and cords and tape and scissors and stuff, to just about anything else you might want to have on the road. Yeah, that's next after I get this all solved, because that I can pretty much do quick. So, all right, love you all. Thanks for watching, and get you on the next video. Bye for now.